Blog Talk Radio.
What's going on, folks? It's your boy Long Beach Joe, and I am back at it again. I'm back at it again, man. Listen, boy, oh boy, do we have some heat lined up, all right? We haven't done a show in a little bit of time. Jets beat the Patriots 17-3 to close out the season. As we all know, we're going to be discussing that. We're also going to be discussing, the end-of-season presser. That was done. There's some Jet players out there that are looking frustrated. Garrett Wilson being one of them. He's, he looks like he is just absolutely upset with the way that things played out, and we're going to be discussing that as well. We're also going to be talking about coaches that have been fired. There's quite a bit of coaches. We got Jets players that are Pro Bowlers, all pros as well. We also got some ruffles, some scuffles going on within the locker room as far as, there may be some players that aren't very fond of certain coaches on this team as well. We're going to be talking about that. So, well, look, we're going to get it all into it. I'm so hyped up. I'm fired up. I'm ready to go. Listen. I'm the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page, all right? Give it a follow, okay? Give me some feedback on there as well, all right? So when I'm doing my thing, I know what you guys like and what you don't, how you feel about what I'm doing over here. So give me some feedback, all right? And always, again, DM me and let me know what's going on over here, okay? Also, all right? Your boy is on Twitter as well. Going over to Twitter, all right? Follow Twitter, okay? It's at The Long Beach Joe, at The Long Beach Joe on Twitter, okay? Follow me, talk to me, because I'll talk right back to you. Let's go back and forth. And, again, leave me some feedback. Your boy's also on iTunes as well. The show's on iTunes. Going over to iTunes, all right? Type in The Long Beach Joe Show, The Long Beach Joe Show on iTunes, okay? Subscribe to the podcast over there. Give me a 5-star rating and leave me some feedback on there as well, okay? I'm always, thankful for those of y'all that do that check the show out any way that you can, all right? For those of you that do not know as well, your boy is live, okay? We do these shows live. We talk to the people. We bring it all live, okay? And to see your boy live, to check out the content that I'm doing, come on over to YouTube. Type in Long Beach Joe Jets. Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube, okay? Subscribe to the channel there, all right? Hit that notification bell. Press all so when I post content, you'll be in the know. Also, give the videos a thumbs up. Now, keep in mind, okay, when you come over here, because, again, a lot of people stumble into this, okay? They don't know. Some people just listen to the show via the audio, and they're like, oh, okay. We like, listening to the show, and then somehow they fall into catching me on YouTube, and they're like, hey, Joe, we really like what you're doing over there. We like, seeing you live, seeing you go back and forth with the people in the chat, and I let them know, hey, I call my chat the Savages, man. You want to know why? Because they're savage, all right? Straight savage, man. These people do not care. They will let you know what time it is. No one is safe, not even me, all right? Salutes to you, Dakota. I see you in the building. Todd, salutes. I see you in the building. All right. Salutes to everybody, all the savages out there watching. Salutes and respect to you. All right. And salutes to the ladies as well. They still commenting saying, hey, Joe, you're looking good. You're looking better and better by the week. I'm like, hey, listen, ladies, I'm not arrogant, okay? I'm just a guy out here doing what I can. So salutes and respect to you as well, ladies. All right. And I want to thank you for your admiration. All right. Now, we have quite a bit to discuss, and we're going to get to everything. Callers, hold on a second. We'll get to everybody. Again, 515-602-9639, 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Again, be patient. We will get to everybody. We have quite a bit to discuss, okay? Also, for my savages in the chat, put your questions as well. We'll come to you, all right, in between calls, and put your questions and your thoughts, and we'll be reading those as well during the show. But keep in mind, I am one man, okay? I'm one man, all right? So first off, we're going to start with the New York Jets beating the Patriots to end the season. Wow, okay? I mean, some people are upset about it, but I'm not really. I'm feeling it. I'm kind of feeling it, all right? The New York Jets snapped a 15-game losing streak to the Patriots. 15-game losing streak, man. You know what I'm saying? They were just destroying us. We beat them 17-3 to end things. Weather was a major factor in this game. For those of y'all that all watched it, I mean, it was crazy out there. It was the snow and just the sleet. It was nasty, okay? Which affected clearly the passing game. Trevor Sidney was 8 for 20, 70 yards throwing the ball. But this was the Breece Hall show, okay? It was the Breece Hall show. Let's be serious, okay? Breece Hall, 37 carries for 178 yards. Wow, okay? He put on a show out there. This man put on a show. He also had a touchdown in this game, 2 catches, 12 yards. He had a big 50-yard TD run to seal the victory. At one point, the Jets were up 9-3. We went for it on 4th and 3. We ended up getting shot. We ended up getting stopped short. We ended up turning the ball over on downs. A couple plays later, Sappy, the Patriots quarterback, he throws an interception, after getting sacked on the first play that he tried it. And then, next thing you know, Ashton Davis is trying to move. Gesicki actually strips him. The ball goes back to the Patriots. So now, you're thinking, hey. You're thinking, wow, all right, is this going to be a classic Patriot move here where they end up coming back? Nope. Zappe drops back about 2 plays into the drive and throws an interception to Tony Adams. Jets get back on offense. Breece Hall gets the ball in his hand and takes off for a 50-yarder, and he also got the 2-point conversion in. So it was a great way to end the season, okay, and the Jets' defense was phenomenal as well. 7 sacks. Quentin Williams had 2. Huff had 2. We'll be talking about him as well. He's a guy that needs to get paid. Will McDonald also got paid. Will McDonald also had a sack as well. Jermaine Johnson, Holmes. So, this Jets defense looked really, really good, man. And this is a really strong way to end the season. I know some Jets fans are upset because they're talking about draft position and all that other stuff. At this point, the New York Jets have the 10th pick in the draft. If it all ends today, if it all were to end today, the Jets would be picking 10th. So everything's, set solid for us. We got the 10th pick and things are going to be looking good. And again, this was an exciting way to end the season there with a good victory. And again, beating the Patriots, man, who have just stomped us for years. Okay. It's been miserable. And we're going to be talking about some of the changes that they made as well. But then directly after that, a couple of days, we had the post-season media day, man. Everybody's cleaning up their locker and leaving, And there were some Jets players, man, that were not excited at all about the way that this season has gone, one of them being Garrett Wilson. And I want you guys to hear what he had to say because, man, he sounded extra frustrated at the way that this season ended and the way that it played out. Here's the words from Garrett Wilson.
What happened this season can't happen again, is how I feel about it. And I don't, I can't say that. Kind of back to what Connor had asked me, I got to stay in my lane. I don't know exactly how to answer that, to be fair, or to be honest. But it's got to be better. We've got to make adjustments in the game. We've got to do things to counter what we're getting and be able to put points on the board because, we 2 years I've been here and, honestly, and all my, it's been tough. It's been tough going. And football hasn't been this hard as far as offensive. And when I watch it, on the sideline, it don't look that hard for the other team. So we got to figure out something to get it rolling no matter who's slinging it, man. And I know that, Aaron will be an offense in itself because that's just what he brings to the table. He's special, man. And I think, I pray and I just pray that everyone in the world gets to see that next year.
Man, let me tell you, Garrett Wilson seems, again, he also talked about how people, have been saying it's been a great year for him. As we all know, Garrett Wilson, yet again, has over 1,000 yards on the season, which is extremely impressive, right? Extremely impressive for him, especially with all the up and down play there at quarterback. I think he had like 1,042 yards. Man, he has been a guy that has been so just unbelievably impactful on this offense, right? All the plays that he's been able to make, and he looks like the guy, that we've been waiting for so long, okay, at wide receiver. A real guy that we can go to consistently, a true number one, okay, a true number one. And to hear him, just sound so defeated at the end of the season. And again, he said himself that, people were coming up to him talking about how great of a season he's had, and they were excited. And he's just like, man, this is the worst season ever, And, he went on to speak about that. And what I found, very interesting is that he talked about, very openly, as y'all heard. He said, listen, we've got to make some adjustments out there. What happened this year cannot happen again. Offensively, it should not be this hard. When teams are throwing things at us, we should be able to counter those things with certain things that we have. And he also said, as y'all heard, that it's easy for other teams. It looks pretty easy for them. Why isn't it easy for us? Let me tell you, that to me was, just kind of ringing the bell coaching-wise. And I know Nathaniel Hackett has come out, in recent, talks with the media as well, talking about how he needs to be better and things need to get better. But these are things that we continued to hear ringing throughout this year. These are big questions that we continue to have throughout this year. When is the offensive game plan going to step up? When is the offensive game plan going to start to counter and adjust well into games, no matter who's out there at quarterback, whether it be Aaron Rodgers, who we know, a couple plays into the season was done for us. He'll be back, next season, hopefully healthy, ready to go. Or, Zach Wilson out there, which, again, is a guy that we talked about this season. We're going to be discussing him. There's a lot of rumors surrounding him as well. But even with Zach Wilson, there were times where we all questioned the game plan. How is this being fitted to his strengths? Why aren't we doing certain things that Zach Wilson excels at? Why aren't we doing those things more consistently? Why does it seem like the game plan is tailored, against what Zach Wilson excels at? Those are big questions. And we saw every quarterback struggle pretty much, at least the ones out, behind Aaron Rodgers. We saw Zach Wilson struggle at times this year, but he was far and away better than, Trevor Siemian by far, and even Tim Boyle as well. And Tim Boyle was supposed to be the veteran guy that knew the offense through and through, and he didn't know the offense, or at least the offense didn't open up behind him at all when he was given a chance, and we actually ended up moving on from him as well. So going forward, the New York Jets offense has got to get things together. The game planning has got to be much better than we've seen. And, of course, our offensive coordinator, Hackett, is, he's going to be feeling the heat, man, going forward. Can't wait to see what exactly we do. But when you have guys like Garrett Wilson, guys that you draft, guys that you are looking to really step up and continue to be pieces, the fundamental building blocks of your foundation, when you have guys that you're hoping you can just move forward with, and they're going to be here for years to, be a reliable set of hands for whatever quarterback that you have, but they're sounding like this, man, that's a tough situation, So I hope we get it together, because I'm telling you, when you lose young guys, man, it'll hurt your team. And we've seen it already, where we had guys that we thought were foundational pieces here, and they decided to go elsewhere because they did not like what was going on. They didn't like it. So I'm not saying that Garrett Wilson will do that. I'm just saying you hear and feel his frustration when he talks about how upsetting this season was. So there were other players as well that spoke. C.J. Mosley also talked about wanting Huff to stay a New York Jet. We're going to be talking about him. I'm telling you, there's a lot of Jets fans that I don't think are ready, okay? Because let me tell you something. Bryce Huff is going to get paid, bruh. He is going to get paid. I'm telling you, it is what it is. It is what it is. He is going to get paid. All right? He's going to get paid. And I know a lot of people do not want to hear this for whatever reason. Some people think he's going to come cheap. He is not going to come cheap. When you look at where he is graded out, the impact that he's had, this guy's looked at as one of the best pass rushers in the league. Generally, those guys at the top of those, the upper echelon of pass rushers, we're talking about like top 10 guys, they're getting paid anywhere from 17 to like in the mid to late 20s a season, okay? And he's going to get somewhere, I truly believe he's going to get somewhere around $19, $20 million a season. I'm telling you, that's what I truly believe when you look at it, But that's the name of the game here, and we all know that. We know that. We all know that. Pass rushers, especially great pass rushers, generally don't hit free agency. There's a reason why. All right? And it's because once you got a guy that can consistently get around the edge, once you have a guy that has shown you that he excels at getting to the passer, he excels at pushing the pocket, and he can get pressure in a passing league, they do everything but let him go. Everything. Pass rush is so valued in this league, it's insane, right? How many years at the New York Jets we were completely anemic rushing the passer? We couldn't. Oh my God. I remember the years where we literally didn't have anybody that can get after you. I'm talking about nobody for years. And we watched guys, low-level pass rushers get paid, 14, 15, $16 million in free agency. Guys that were just kind of left around that could be situational guys that were getting paid like that. So I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, if he gets paid anywhere from 18, 19 million to 22, 20-something million dollars. I wouldn't be surprised at all. All right? Wouldn't be surprised at all. And I understand that there's some people out there that are talking. I've had discussions with Jets fans. I've had many discussions. Salutes to Michael Piper. Again, callers, we'll get to you in a second. 848, I see you. I'll be coming to you. There's a lot of Jets fans that feel like, well, he doesn't play every down. Again, Michael Piper Jr. salutes to you, Savage. He says Huff can't play every down, though. If he plays a lot, his production will go down and won't be worth $20 million a year. Here's the deal. Situational pass rushers get paid out the wazoo. And we also know that the New York Jets, Huff is not a bad, terrible against the run. He's not terrible. But you also got to keep in mind that the New York Jets, their rotation relies heavily on rest. They have a heavy rest rotation, and we all know that. That's why everybody couldn't stand Ulbrich this offseason. Anybody remember that? When they were like, Quentin Williams should play every down. He should be out there every down. And they were talking about, no, our rotation plays off of this and that. we're gonna get different guys in here. It's about rest. It's about this, about that. So, listen, Huff is going to get paid. He's going to get paid, I'm telling you. He's going to get paid, and you better get prepared. And I want to see him get paid because he's a guy that came in here, did what he was supposed to do. He's a guy that we picked up, and here he is handling business, okay? He's a guy that's young, a guy that can put things together. I want to see him continue to be here, and I want to see him be in a Jets uniform for the rest of his career because he did things the right way. Keep in mind that if we're talking about winning Super Bowls, kids, if we're talking about winning Super Bowls, if you can't rush the passer, if you don't have multiple guys that can get after the passer, good luck with that. Good luck with it. When you got guys like Patrick Mahomes, when you got guys like Deshaun Watson, when you got guys like Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Herbert, Joe Burrow, I can keep Jalen Hurts, I can keep going on and on and on about the guys that are in this league that will literally destroy you if you don't get to them quick enough. We've seen it too many times, right? I watched an Eagles team have I think they had 70 sacks last season. I wonder why they were in the Super Bowl. The team that was second to them, the Kansas City Chiefs, they were second in sacks in the league. I wonder how they got to the Super Bowl. It's no need to be confused. It's because they can get to the passer. It's because they rushed the passer. Keep in mind, the Eagles went back and got more. They went back and got more. We've seen the Bills, right? The Bills, known for years, get to you. They rushing the passer, Rousseau, Ed Oliver, all these guys. You know what they did? Von Miller, don't even trip, dog. Come on over here. We'll give you $20 million a season. That's what they did. That's exactly what they did. So here we are, right? Here we are in a situation with Huff, and I think we need to make sure that we keep him a Jet. And if we can't give him, the deal that he wants, I can absolutely see a franchise tag coming for him. Absolutely can see that. I don't want to see him traded. I'm going to say that right now. I don't want to see him traded. I would like to keep him a Jet. You need pass rush in this league. You led the New York Jets in sacks this season, and you need multiple guys. You need multiple guys. I'm telling you. The Bills know what time it is. That's why they handle business the way that they did. So we'll be talking about that. Also, Sauce himself as well, Sauce Gardner. That boy Sauce came out and talked about how, he felt like the Jets were too distracted coming into the season. Of course, we know there was a lot of hubbub. Aaron Rodgers coming into the franchise brought a lot of cameras, a lot of eyes, a lot of people looking around. So there was a lot of things moving and shaking, hard knocks, all that stuff. And the Jets tried to stop that from happening, but still happened nonetheless, right? So I'm hoping that this upcoming offseason, the Jets don't get too distracted, that there isn't a ton of distractions surrounding them. They're able, to kind of put that to bed there and really get focused. And I think that that's what's going to happen, especially, again, with the goal, being a Super Bowl once Aaron Rodgers returns. There's also been rumors swirling about Zach Wilson, that, at the end of the season, pretty much that's it. This season is the last season you're going to see him in a Jets uniform. I understand it. I get it, right? They have a choice on him to make coming. I know there's been talks about trading him. Some people want him cut, so on and so forth, right? And, Zach's been all right. He's been up and down of this past season. He's had some good spots. He's had some bad spots too. But he's definitely better than he was last season. I'll say that, all right? I'm not the biggest Zach Wilson fan, but I do like Zach. I think he has ability, but it just hasn't been consistent. Okay, I'm a realist. But I also want to put this take out here. I have a feeling. I have a feeling that there's a chance that Zach Wilson will be in a Jets uniform next season. I have a feeling that it's going to happen. I have a feeling, and I just want to put this take out here. I have a feeling that what will happen is they will try to work out some type of restructure or extension for him, similar to what the Green Bay Packers did with Jordan Love. I feel like they'll give him some type of deal that will keep him here for at least 1 to 2 more years, allowing Aaron Rodgers to play out, his situation to play out, and then they'll try to give Zach Wilson a chance to finally sit on the throne alone and truly see if he can be the guy. That's how I feel, okay? That's how I feel, and we'll see what happens, but that's how I feel. And I know that there's been a lot of talk about Zach Wilson wanting to move on as well. But here's the deal. A lot of that, again, hasn't been founded. We haven't heard him say that out of his own mouth, that he wants to get up out of here. And I think that staying here for him would benefit him in a great way, and here's why. I think the New York Jets, this staff, this coaching staff, this front office, especially Joe Douglas, is tied to him because they took him high in the draft. They want to see him succeed more than any other quarterback or any other team in the league would want to see him succeed, clearly. He'd be given a chance here to do something that I think a lot of teams aren't necessarily going to give him. They're not going to give him the same love and push, okay? The same love and push. So I think if he truly wants to be a starting quarterback in this league, really get like a legitimate chance to be a starting quarterback, this would be the best place for him to do that. Because if he goes somewhere else, they're not going to be as ingrained as they're not going to have as much on the line for him to succeed as this staff will. They're not going to put as much behind him. And again, Aaron Rodgers himself said that one of his responsibilities outside of just, playing for the Jets, of course, the production on the field, he felt like one of his responsibilities was also to help fix Zach Wilson and to get him afloat so that when he moved on, Zach would be able to take the reins. I just want to put that thought out there. I'm not saying, I want to be clear, especially with the callers tonight. Everybody's going to hit me up. Again, 515-602-9639. We're coming to callers in a second. Hold on. We're getting to everybody. All right? I'm not saying that, the New York Jets must get this done. I'm just saying I got a feeling that it's going to end up happening. Continue to move on there. But there's been a lot of rumors about him. Also, we got Pro Bowl in the building, all right? And guess what? We got some Jets that are Pro Bowlers, baby. We got some Jets that are Pro Bowlers, okay? We got some Jets that are Pro Bowlers, all right? Quinnen Williams is a Pro Bowler. He's a starter, all right? 59 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble on the season, 1 fumble return. Also had an interception against Philly. I mean, it's a no-brainer, okay? Quinnen Williams is a dog. We all know that. I know that there was a lot of Jets fans that tried to knock him because he didn't have big sack numbers, especially this season after coming off of the type of sack numbers he had last season. But let me tell you something. The impact that this guy had, the way that he makes offenses adjust to him, and the way that they have to game plan to take him out, it's crazy. Because if you watch often, teams will double team, sometimes even try to triple team him, right? And that opens up the door for guys like Huff, Jermaine Johnson, Will McDonald, and all these other guys to eat, right? That's what's happening here. Impact. And not only just that, right? We're just talking about the pass rush, but his impact in the running game is crazy. Disruption. How many tackles for loss did we see this season, right? How many tackles for loss? How many times did we see him completely blow up, running plays and shut things down? A lot. So, Quinnen Williams, Pro Bowler, no-brainer. Second Pro Bowler, second starting Pro Bowler here for the New York Jets, Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner yet again. Let's salute him as well. Yeah. Sauce Gardner's in the building. All right, yet again. This is second Pro Bowl. He's been in the Pro Bowl 2 years in a row. Rookie year, he's a Pro Bowler. Year 2, he's a Pro Bowler again. 53 total tackles, 1 forced fumble. Let me tell you something. This guy's crazy. He was also an All-Pro as a rookie as well, for those of you that may not know. All right? Phenomenal, man. Phenomenal stuff. 2 Pro Bowlers. Of course, we got some alternates as well. I was shocked that Quincy Williams was not named as a starter, okay, for a Pro Bowl. But, he's an alternate. We also got Greg Zuerlein as an alternate, Thomas Morstead as an alternate. Also, C.J. Mosley is named as a Pro Bowl alternate as well. So, but I would have thought that, Quincy would have gotten the starter role there. He's been playing some great linebacker, okay? Also, we had the AP, the NFLPA, All-Pro team came out. No Jets on it. I was shocked about that. But Sauce and Quincy Williams did make the AP All-Pro first team, okay? Again, so that makes Sauce 2 years in a row for him as an All-Pro. And then you got Quincy getting his first taste of being an All-Pro. So, good moves. Good stuff. Like it. Love it. Again, we got guys here. This defense is looking phenomenal. We got guys moving and shaking. Big pieces, especially when you're talking about a guy like Sauce Gardner being a Pro Bowl and an All-Pro 2 years in a row. This guy's been in the league 2 years, and it just seems like he's been in the league 10 years. He's dominant and elite at his position. What a draft. People knock Joe Douglas for a lot of things, but I'll tell you what, man. Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, Jermaine Johnson, that whole draft, something else, man. It was something else. This kid Sauce is crazy. And again, even Quincy Williams. People don't even talk about, again, a lot of people knock Joe Douglas. Quincy Williams is the guy that's brought in, cut from the Jags late. Oh, he's a bum. He's out of here. Oh, he's just a no-name kind of signing. Man, this guy has come into the building and really played unbelievable. They're all pro. All pro. And we got him on a really solid deal. I think he's making like $9 million a season or something like that these next couple of years. So, excited. Again, salutes to all the Savages. Put your questions in the chat. I see y'all in the building. How about them Jet salutes? He says, Joe, you better get rid of that feeling right now. He's talking about Zach Wilson, my theory on Zach Wilson. I'm telling you, guys, listen, I just got a feeling. I got a feeling that they're going to find a way to extend Zach Wilson. I got a feeling. Michael says, and salutes to Michael as well, Michael says Zach will be traded if they don't restructure his contract, if he gets $10 million next season. Yeah, I think he makes like $11 million or something like that next season. He says, I agree, Joe, but cap-wise, I don't know how we keep Zach and bring in a competent number two who knows Zach is still in the building. Listen, we brought in competent number twos this year that knew that Zach was still in the building, right? Tim Boyle was brought in, right? He's been on the team. Trevor Siemian is a guy that's a journeyman veteran backup quarterback. He's been different places, right? Brett Rippon is a guy that understands the offense. He was with Hackett with the Broncos. He was brought in too. You can bring in competent guys that are going to come in knowing that Zach is in the building, especially when it's put on the table that Zach Wilson is, and this is another reason why, and I want to go back to this. I know we were talking about the Pro Bowl, but here's another reason. Zach Wilson was supposed to be in bubble wrap. That's what he was supposed to be. He was supposed to be in bubble wrap this season, and we all know that. He wasn't supposed to be actually playing. That was the plan. And we didn't just know that, right? They told us that themselves. That wasn't just the theory that Joe came up with. Some people go, oh, Joe, you just came out with you. No. The coaches came out and talked about how Zach really wasn't supposed to play. And so I think what a restructure, right, would do for him is that it would give them a chance to basically re-up on the plan that was supposed to happen, this last season, to allow him to really sit back and learn from Aaron Rodgers in whatever capacity he needs to continue to learn from Aaron Rodgers. And it would allow him to get that chance to step back in at some point and get a chance to truly see if he can be the guy, which would be the last chance. And again, I want to put this out there when I say this. 857, I'm coming to you right after this. I want to say this. That doesn't mean that you can't get a young quarterback to compete with him as well whenever he's going to get a chance, whether it be 2 years from now or whenever, right? That doesn't mean that you can't go get a young quarterback to compete with him or sit behind him and learn as well so that if he fails, you can move on. That's not what that means. You can absolutely do that. And I think that that's something that the Jets will do or explore as well, okay? So we're going to keep talking about a lot of different things, man, okay? I got a lot on my mind. We're going to have these discussions. Breece Hall and Mekhi Becton also seems like they don't really like Coach Keith Carter. Taylor Lewan basically talked about Mike Vrabel, who was actually fired by the Tennessee Titans. Shocking, okay? Taylor Lewan said, he loved him as a coach, except in 2018. Loved his staff as well, besides Keith Carter. And Mekhi Becton, he made some comments as well under the post that kind of lended credence to maybe he didn't like Keith Carter as well, talking about, hey, the second paragraph that you said right there, not liking Keith Carter, that was fact. Breece Hall, also made a comment, retweeted, and had some things to say. He just put some laughing emojis at the situation, which is strange, too. As we know, Keith Carter is the offensive line coach and also the running game coordinator. So there could be some issues there. Belichick has also been fired by the Patriots. Oh, that feels so good. Everyone knows I don't like Bill Belichick. God, I can't stand him. That man's out of here, okay? Gerard Mayo is now the new head coach of the Patriots. He's actually the youngest coach currently in the NFL. Again, Vrabel was fired. Pete Carroll was also moved on as well. He talked about that they're going to have him in some role with Seattle, some part of their front office, but he's no longer going to be their coach. The Chargers also fired Brandon Staley, as we know. Arthur Smith was also fired, and the Commanders also fired Ron Rivera. All right, so a lot of guys moved on from. There's a lot of coaching options opening up, a lot of head coaching spots opening up. And another thing I want to put out there, too, Jeff Albridge, don't be surprised if his name is starting to come up in head coaching conversations, okay? Do not be surprised, because he's a guy that has been talked about quite a bit in NFL circles, and his name is buzzing. He has got this New York Jets defense screaming all over the place, and let me tell you, the NFL is taking note. Okay, the NFL is taking note. So we're going to have these discussions tonight. I'm going to talk about my feelings about Belichick a little bit later. All right? I'm going to talk about that because I got to do it, all right? Because when you're down, I'm a kid.
Here we go!
I'm going to let it be known. I'm going to let it be known, okay, how I feel about him, you know? I got respect for what he's done, but I'm going to let it be known. So we're going to go to the lines again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. I'm taking all callers. Please give the stream a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so when I post content, you'll be in the know. All right? Also, share the stream across your social media with your friends and your family. Super Chat is there. You want to hit that Super Chat, give your boy a couple ducats. I'll take it. Thank you. Okay? Thank you. Anything you get to the platform is greatly appreciated. Cash App is at the bottom of the screen. We're going to take some callers. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're going to get to these callers. Also, again, Savage is in the chat. Put your thoughts in the chat. I'll be coming to you. I'll be reading your comments and your questions. All right? Just let me know, Joe, something. All right? First caller we're going to go to. We're going to go to Chris, man. We're coming directly to Chris. I know he has some heat for us. Listen, for those of you that do not know, this man, Chris, he's a savage.
Happy
Chris
Friday, Joe.
Salutes.
What's going on?
Happy Friday. And listen, Happy New Year to everybody as well. I don't know if I said that. I know we're about 12 days into the new year. It's wild out here, all right? But here we are, right? Here we are, and the season is officially, as we know, is over for the Jets. Beat the Patriots 17-3. Now, I've gone back and forth with a lot of Jets fans, Chris, that were upset that the Jets won this game. Are you one of them?
Yes.
Why?
And the reason why is that this is why I'm mad. Because, Joe, when you want a left tackle, okay, your whole thing is to get the left tackle. Your whole being some fans is to get the left tackle position solved. Because it's not about this year, it's about next year. So if we lost that game, we probably would have gotten the left tackle, the top left tackle, or we got the other guy from Penn State. And those are the only two tackles that I feel that are willing to be like plug and play starters. The other guys are work in progress, and we don't have time for that. So at this point, it's like other guys
listen, I hear you.
For everybody's talking about Falaga. Listen. The other guy from Oregon State, the guy he's a beast. He only played against the 28th people in college football. We don't know how good he is when he's tested against the top players in college football, man. And you go against the top athletes in the NFL. We have no there. Joe, do you see the season? You see how peak players are mad? We have no room for error. It has to be a whole totally solid situation. So now we're looking at somebody like Brock Bowers, which is a good player, which will help both the offensive line and the receiving game. But guys like you going to be screaming left tackle, offensive line, and we're not going to get that. Get the chance to get the top guy in there.
I don't think that's true. And again, Chris, I want to thank you for calling in. I don't think that's true. Okay. Of course, we'll see what happens because again, there's opportunities for us to move up in the draft too. And I think that there's going to be a run, as we know, the quarterbacks and Caleb and, Daniels and all these guys that are coming out as well. But there's other options outside of just Alt and the tackle from Penn State as well. You got Latham from Alabama, who I think is really good. And I think a lot of people are sleeping on Mims from Georgia. That guy's really, really good, too. There's so many opportunities. Even the guy you talked about, I think Talasi from Oregon State, he's good as well. There's opportunities for us to grab some tackles. Everybody's screaming, like, dude, we got the 10th pick. Everybody's screaming like, we're just so far outside, like we're the 30th. There's other tackles as well that's good, too. Graham Barton from Duke is very solid. You know, you got Morgan from Arizona. There's tackles that we'll be able to pick up. There's offensive line that we'll be able to bring into the building to really help us move forward. So just because we have the 10th pick, I don't think we're out of anything at all. Again, I think Mims is solid. And I know we're talking about left tackle, and, yes, we do need to address that if Becton is not given some type of extension, which could be a possibility, right? Maybe you give him a 2-year deal, keep him here for 2 more years, kind of a more of a prove-it deal, maybe $6 to $7 million or something like that a season. And then you address the right tackle position. I could see them doing that. Aaron Rodgers does like Mekhi Becton quite a bit. He did have a rough end to the season, but I think that was more on the high ankle sprain that he got. Once he got that high ankle sprain, it was really rough for him to move around, and you could clearly see it, right? Because before that, man, go back and watch that Eagles game. He was dominant.
Yeah, he was
really throwing people around. Yeah, but after that, it was a lot of penalties, a lot of issues. And, again, I'm not absolving him of those things. Joe's a realist, okay? He didn't play very well down the end of the stretch. He was caca down the end of the end of the season. I'm gonna put it all the way out there. Okay, I'm gonna keep it real.
I'm very surprised.
Yeah, his play at the end of the season was wild.
Yeah. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
But again, I'm a Becton guy. Yeah, I'm a Becton guy.
I am too.
And it was a rough end of the season. But again, J.C. Latham I think would be great here for the New York Jets. And Mims, I think, and those are guys that absolutely, we can end up grabbing. We could probably move down a spot or two and still end up with those guys to gain more capital. We have so many options. So I don't think that addressing the offensive line is out of question just because we have the 10th pick in the first round. Now, as we continue to talk about this what happened, man, we beat the Patriots. We snapped the 15-game losing streak, and there's, a couple of days ago, we see that boy Belichick has gotten fired. How do you feel about that, man?
Yeah. Well, I'm in the area, right? So, it's,
yes,
I don't think
you're in that area.
I'm in the area. So everybody's up here is kind of like, well, it's time to go. Kind of blame him for Brady leaving. So then there's no emotional goodbye for most of the fans. Most of the fans are like, it's time to move on. So, I've had the experience of meeting actually seeing Belichick because I'm a transport from New York, in Hofstra. That's my school. So, I seen him in Parcells in the area, see how hard they coach. But, Belichick is a guy who's about football. He's never been a sussy-passy guy, and he's haunted this team for years. So at this point, it's like, for me, it's like, well, see you later, man. I mean, it did feel good beating them, but and sending him off with a loss. But again, we all knew he was gone. We knew the team was bad. Fans wanted to lose anyway. So, Patriot fans said, we didn't want to win that game anyway. We happy y'all won. So it's not the same kind of rivalry when Brady was playing or when Bart Scott came on the field, and that was the best time to be a Jet. When that game, oh man, that was the game where that we really stuck it to them, man, because they were on their way to a Super Bowl. I think we stuck it to them, and that is I'll always remember. But I mean, the guy is to be honest with you, they look at the guy's record. He's a New York Giant. He's a New York Jet. He almost got us to the Super Bowl. He screwed our team, but he gave us we got 2 draft picks. We got John Abraham, which to me still today is kind of our best pass rusher. So we got 2 picks in Chad Pennington, 2 of our greatest players, one of our best quarterbacks. So, I mean, if we got the coaching stuff right, we would be in the Super Bowl by now. But, it is what it is, man. But nobody's sad up here about him. I'm just telling you.
Mm-hmm.
They're excited that he's gone.
Yeah, and I mean, let me tell you something, Patriots. Let me tell you, Patriots fans, you're gonna you're about to feel the burn for real. Because look, as much as I dislike him, and I will be talking about how much I dislike him later on in the show, he's one of the greatest to ever do it. And we can deny that. We cannot. You can't deny it because it's there. We can hate him all we want, but that man, he always had a solid staff, and he always, came out with coaches that can put things together. And I can't stand him. And I'm happy that he is out the AFC East. I'm happy that he is out the Patriots, and I hope he takes some time off, man. No need to rush back. Take about 20 years off. You know what I'm saying? 20, 30 years. Yeah. Get yourself together.
Yeah,
worry about your personal
affairs. There's rumors he's gonna take off a year, but I don't see him leave.
Yeah,
this is the thing. He lives in this area. He's comfortable. Mm-hmm. I don't see him going to the West Coast. So he's looking at a couple. If he comes back to football, it's going to be one of the. It's going to be the East Coast team. It's going to be either if the guy from the guy from the Giants falls out another year, he's done. Mm-hmm. Never know what will happen with this. You never know what will happen next year, man. If he takes a year off, man, and Robert Saleh has another bad year, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, my
Anything's
goodness.
possible here.
Oh, my
You know what I'm saying?
goodness. I cannot believe that you are even trying to discuss the possibility of that man being a head coach of the New York Jets.
I'm just telling you. He's not leaving the area. Okay? He's not leaving this area.
Come on.
He is not leaving. Listen. He's not leaving. Listen, Joe, I'm telling you. He's not leaving this area. He's not going to San Francisco. He's not Washington.
Listen,
listen,
there's a lot of things. Hold on a second, Chris. There's a lot of things. Listen. Hold on, Chris. There's a lot of things, right, that I'm willing to have an open mind upon. And, but listen, Bill Belichick hates the Jets. We all know that. He's done everything in his power to screw us that he can, okay? He screwed us in the draft. He would take former players of ours and utilize them in different ways and screw us over that way.
Right.
He screw us over during games. He hates the Jets, and trust, we hate him just as much as he hates us, even more, okay, because he kept us from winning multiple times, all right? There's no way he ever, I think, becomes the head coach of the New York Jets, no matter, who else. I don't think he'd ever want to come here ever again anyway. So I can't see that happening. I can't see that happening. Let's just move on, man. Give me your thoughts about Zach Wilson. A lot of people saying, hey, season's over, and that effectively will end his time here as a New York Jet as well. Do you think we see Zach Wilson return next season?
No, he's done. I think he's going to go to another team. I think he wants to go to another offense where he can run around and do all this stuff. And when I saw Zach Wilson, I remember talking to you about this. I remember we discussing this in detail, right? I was a Justin Fields guy. I always wanted Justin Fields in his team. I felt Justin Fields was the better quarterback. I didn't necessarily subscribe to the point that Zach Wilson. The only reason we drafted Zach Wilson is because he said that he was good in the West Coast offense. He fit the offense. Well, he didn't fit the offense. And, sometimes it takes a quarterback a long time to find its way in the thing. But I always felt that they said, he's going to run around, he's going to get hurt, he's going to be. I always felt that Justin Fields was the best pick that the Jets could have made. After I seen what he did in Clemson, I thought there was no way. And they said, this kid Zach Wilson is going to be the next big thing. He's got the West Coast offense. And they sold us. They were running for, and this is when he was like Aaron Rodgers, and he was going to learn from him and everything else. But, Zach can't read defenses, man. I mean, he has a great arm, but that takes time.
Yeah, I mean, look, he was better this year than he has been in the past. But I don't know, man. Chris, I'm telling you, I got a feeling that Zach will be here next year. I just got a feeling. I don't know what it is.
I mean, we got.
I just got a feeling. I'm not saying that. I want to be clear. I want to be clear. I don't think he's going to be here as a starter, clearly, right? Aaron Rodgers is going to be the starter. But I think what they're going to try to do is get an extension or something for him to keep him here for at least 2 more years to allow Aaron Rodgers to play out, or be done and wrap up whatever he wants to do here with the Jets. And then after that is said and done, I feel like Zach Wilson will have another chance to really, either sink or swim as a starter here. Because I feel like what's going to happen is they're going to want to re-up and try to do what they were doing this season, what they were going to do this season before Aaron Rodgers went down. That's what I feel like is coming. That's just,
so you're
that's
gonna have,
my feeling.
So you're going to have.
That's just my take.
So that's what I'm saying. You're going to have Zach Wilson. You're going to have Aaron Rodgers, who they are targeting as the Bill quarterback, and what the backup quarterback they're targeting is Ryan Tannehill. You know what I'm saying? That's why they keep Keith Carter, because they want Ryan Tannehill. That's the only reason That's the only reason he's staying. So they want Ryan Tannehill. So that's the only reason they keep Keith Carter around, because he has a good relationship with Ryan Tannehill. And then they're gonna so I don't see the money for Zach Wilson if they do a low bid extension. I think so, but I think that the cap situation, spending that much money on the quarterback when they got to get Bryce Harper under contract, they got to get Beck Hecken, they got to get probably three new offensive linemen, 2 or 3. I don't think it fits. I think Zach is I think he'll be good, but I think it's 2 or 3 more years down the line he'll be good. But I don't think I think he'll be. He'll be better late in his career.
Yeah, he's only making a 10 or 11 million next season anyway, if they keep him. But again, if they can work out a deal to bring that down and again extend them,
maybe something like
what we saw from the Packers with Jordan Love. I'm telling you, I just got a feeling. I just want to put that take out there. I just got a feeling. Now you talked about Keith Carter. It's interesting. I wanted to get into that with you as well. What are your thoughts, man? It seems like Keith Carter isn't very well liked by Breece Hall and Mekhi Becton. What are your thoughts about that, man?
The only reason I think that what they're going to do is they're going to bring on an offensive assistant, right? And I think the coaching staff is going to add to the coaching staff this year. So I can see an established coach coming to the Jets as
add how, because they've already come out and talked about that they're going to keep their coaching staff in place. What coach? What coach would you even think would be moved on?
I'm talking about a game coordinator or something like that, or maybe another coach in the building. They're going to bring somebody else in the building. I think Keith Carter is there for Ryan Tannehill. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only reason I would see him stay there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Ryan Tannehill, and I'd welcome it if he were to come here, but I don't think you have to have Keith Carter to get Ryan Tannehill.
I think you have to have some type of familiar offense and stuff. When a guy wants to switch teams, like Aaron Rodgers has done, you want to have some familiarity with the offense. Since all the offensive staff is gone, I think Keith Carter provides something that, protections and calls and stuff where Ryan Tannehill can feel comfortable. So,
yeah,
that's what I think.
Yeah, I hear you, but I think that Hackett is more in line with that stuff as far as calls and what he's going to bring to the table as far as game planning and stuff for the offense. Of course, Keith Carter is involved in the running game coordination and stuff, and he does the offensive line stuff. But I think that's more in line with Hackett and his offensive game plan and what he brings to the table. Now, again, Tannehill is a guy that the Jets, according to rumors, were looking at in the past as well. So we'll see what happens going forward. But I'm telling you, this situation with Keith Carter is interesting. So my final question before I let you go, Chris, give me your thoughts, man. We saw Sauce Gardner, Quinnen Williams, a Pro Bowler. We got Sauce Gardner as an All-Pro and a Pro Bowler again. What are your thoughts about how phenomenal this kid has been since we drafted him, man?
I thought, when I saw Sauce Gardner, I thought he was going to be he's a Hall of Famer. And I already knew that. I mean,
he's
good.
Go ahead.
There's few guys in these drafts that you look at and be like, man, this guy's gonna have a Hall of Fame career. Sauce is one of them. He's gonna be a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And
listen, Chris, go ahead, finish up.
No, last thing before I go. The 10th pick, and I've asked a lot of Jet fans this, would you trade the 10th pick for an established full-blood left tackle? Would you trade it for a Pro Bowl type left tackle? Would you trade that pick?
Like what? Like a Pro Bowl left tackle that's like super old, or a Pro Bowl left tackle that's still in his prime? Like what are we talking?
I mean, like a super young. Like, would you go to like the Minnesota Vikings who are looking for a quarterback, and would you trade that pick for their left tackle?
I don't know who. Well, I mean, let's just say if it was a left tackle that was out there that was solid, that was a Pro Bowl guy, and his contract made sense. Yeah, I would look to do it. I would look to do that.
Okay.
If his contract made sense and it wasn't going to destroy us cap wise, and he was already the goods. Let's say he's somewhere in his 20s. Yeah, and especially if it is mid to early 20s. Yeah, I'm making a move. I'm trading it.
All right.
Done deal. So, listen, Chris. Thank you for calling in. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you. All right.
I think so.
All right, absolutely, man. We're going to keep getting to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. I am taking all callers. Again, when you call in, please be patient. We're getting to everyone, okay? Again, salutes to all the savages in the chat. I see you going back and forth. Bree Fanatic, salutes to you as well, Bree. Dakota, I see you. GVH, salutes. All right? GVH says, as long as the Belichick tree continues to not do well, I'm happy. Everyone been trash except for Vrabel. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's the type of Belichick hate that I need. Salutes, GVH. Yes. I need that. All right? We're going to be talking about him a little bit later on. Lil Balloon, I see you in the building. Salutes, Dakota, everybody. All right? Dano, I see you. All right? We're going to keep moving forward, okay? 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. I'm taking all callers. Excuse me. You know what I'm saying? I'm hyped up. Dane salutes. Dano says, popping in to say I'm subbing and liking. Huge couple of NY Jets live streams here on YouTube, but work Monday through Thursday night, so it's hard for me to find lives on Friday and Saturday nights. Glad to see you. We'll see you more next. Salutes, man. Thank you. And again, please subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so when I post content, you'll be in the know. Again, we're live, taking calls, 515-602-9639. Salutes to all the savages. Keep putting your questions and your thoughts in the chat, and I'll come to y'all in between calls. Next, we're going to Ronald, man. We're going to Ronald Perry. And I know Ronald has some things that he wants to say because let me tell you something. There's a lot of things moving and shaking around here. A lot of things moving and shaking with the New York Jets, okay? So we're going to go to that man and see what he has to say about what's happening here, all right? Actually, before him, we're going to go to 516. We're going to 516 before that, all right? 516 salutes. Welcome to the show. I want to thank you for calling in. You're looking like a new caller. Give me your name, where you're from, and give me your thoughts about the New York Jets ending the season with a W.
Okay. My name is Joseph from Levittown, Long Island, New York. And my thoughts on the end of the season the coaching staff, the players, they all needed that win. That was obvious, you know. Mm-hmm. Dropping down to 10 when we could have had a 6-6, yeah, that sucks, but this tackle, plenty of tackle prospects that are very good to see in this draft class. So, love to see that.
Yeah. Listen, Joseph. First off, I want to thank you for calling in. You know, a new caller. I really enjoy talking to a lot of different people that love this football team as much as I do, and I'm right there with you. I understand that some are upset about the New York Jets winning this game, and they talk about draft position. Look, we still got the 10th pick. We're fine. And there's still going to be opportunities for us to be able to grab a tackle that we need, offensive lineman that we need, so that we can continue to get better up front and properly protect our quarterback. I don't think it's just the tackles or the offensive line help or the offensive line talent don't just stop at Alt in the tackle from Penn State. There's other guys as well. I just talked about Latham. I just talked about Mims. You know, there's other guys, a kid out in Oregon State. There's so many other guys here that we'll be able to grab that can come in here and help us. And also free agency. I think a lot of people are forgetting about that. Again, I don't think the New York Jets are going to have the type of, you know, cash to maybe pay a top-tier left tackle if one falls out in free agency here. But there's still opportunities for us to grab, you know, something there that can also help just in case we don't get enough in the draft. Now, as we talk about, you know, us beating the Patriots, snapping that 15-game winning streak, Joseph, there's a lot of people that think that this is Zach's, you know, final season as a Jet, man, that it's over. What are your thoughts on what you saw from him throughout his time here so far? And do you think that this season puts an end to him being in a New York Jets uniform?
I mean, disappointment. That's number one word for him, obviously. But, I mean, we saw some flashes. The Chiefs game, the Texans game, it was all there. But with no offensive line help, only one good wide receiver, I mean, I can't see him as succeeding anywhere near this offense at all. Can he succeed maybe in the Minnesota Vikings? For sure, but his time's over here. There's no way.
Okay. Yeah, you know, listen, I've talked about it. I feel like there's going to be an extension done, and I feel like he could end up here 2 more years. But that's just my feeling. I could see it going the other way as well. I could see this being it. Again, we know the struggles. He's been up and down, like you said as well, the flashes. The Chiefs game was a flash. The Eagle game, there were flashes. There was a lot of flashes of solid play and possible greatness. Zach Wilson, where you could see, man, he's got the talent. He's got the arm strength, but to this point, there hasn't been enough consistency. And then we also saw, you know, the downs, the lack of confidence, him just being completely, seemingly overwhelmed, especially with the media and the fan base just being on top of him and the expectations. So maybe he, you know, walks out the door this season. Again, there's been a lot of talk about, you know, trade rumors surrounding him. So we'll see how that goes forward, but I don't know. I just got a feeling. Now, Joseph, as we continue to talk about this football team, man, at the postseason presser, after the season was over, man, Garrett Wilson just seemed like he said himself, he felt like this is the worst season, you know, that he's ever had, even though he had over 1,000 yards for the second time in his career, first as a rookie and now as a second-year player. And he talked about how the Jets' offense just seems to struggle, doesn't adjust well, and how this is the hardest that offense has been in his entire career, you know. Again, we know he was at Ohio State. And what do you make of that, man? Like, are you concerned about him at some point just checking out because of all of the losing and all of the wear and tear that there's been? And what are your thoughts about how this offense could get better next season from a schematic standpoint? Do you put a lot of that on Hackett, or do you put it elsewhere?
Well, for starters, obviously, season ended basically right away. Rodgers, he's a difference maker. Like, you know, to Dak, is like, if Dak wasn't the Cowboys' starting quarterback, you think they would have a good offense? Probably not. It's more of like after that, nothing looked right. I mean, we were probably the worst offense for a good 12-week stretch, for being honest here. I don't know how it can be fixed. We need offensive line help, maybe a wide receiver too, but it's mainly that offensive line, man. They couldn't hold their own for 2 seconds. I'm pretty sure my 5-year-old brother could hold those guys. It's just.
Yeah, I mean, you got a point there, man. I'll tell you, because there was some games where things just did not look good at all. Guys were struggling.
Miami game. Oh, my God, dude.
Oh, my God.
I saw Lakin blocking Bakai Becton. Awful.
And, I mean, Billy Turner, come on, bro. He's been awful since we signed him. He was awful in the offseason all the way into the season. Joseph, you are on fire right now. My next question for you, man, as we continue forward, we got a Sauce Gardner Pro Bowler, All-Pro. We got Quentin Williams named as a Pro Bowler as well. We got Quincy Williams, first-time All-Pro, AP. What are your thoughts about these Jets, the players on the Jets defense getting their just due, man? We got a couple guys really showing up and showing out, to the rest of the league. What are your thoughts about the Pro Bowl votes and the All-Pro guys we have here?
Well, obviously Quincy was snubbed from Pro Bowl. That's or two, like Antoine Winfield Jr. He should have been a Pro Bowl, but yeah, I mean, it's really all put down to coaching because, like, when you see the offensive coaching to the defensive coaching, it's more defense. But also the elite talent that we have on defense kind of helps because, like, did you see the PFF rankings for defense and offense?
No, I haven't. I haven't at all.
Okay. The Jets' defense was ranked number 1 by PFF standards. The Jets' offense, 32nd. I mean, that tells you everything right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. It's a rough season, but I tell you, man, those to have guys that are so young, especially a guy, again, Sauce Gardner, he's a monster, man. To draft a guy like that and to know, like, I don't think anybody thought that he was. Of course, we thought he was going to be good, but to be an All-Pro 2 years in a row, Pro Bowler 2 years in a row, rookie second year, like, that's just amazing. And I always talk about these young foundational building blocks. That's what the draft is about if you really want to build a solid team. Getting guys that you can move forward with. And to have him not only be a young building block, a guy that's solid that we can move forward with, forget solid. This guy's elite. He's literally, to me personally, I know I'm going to get some hate from outside, but look, to me, Sauce Gardner is the best corner in the league, hands down. I think he's better than everybody.
I don't think there's any doubt about that anymore.
Yeah, listen, I get a lot of hate. I get a lot of hate. I've been called a homer and a hater before. But listen, I think Sauce is the best in the league. And another thing as well, to see a guy like Quincy Williams get his just due as well. Here's a guy that Joe Douglas took a flyer on a late signing after getting released by the Jaguars, and boom, he's brought into the building, and he's an All-Pro this year as well. And he's playing some phenomenal linebacker. So kudos to those players, and also kudos to Joe Douglas as well for doing his due diligence and getting these guys in the building. Even Quentin Williams, he made sure that deal was done, so he stayed a Jet. And I remember that there was a time, I remember this, I don't know if everybody else does, but I definitely remember, there was a time where Jets fans wanted to trade Quentin Williams. I remember it. I remember people wanting to move on from him. I remember Jets fans saying, do not give him a fifth-year option. And if Joe Douglas had to listen to that, we'd be we'd be up a creek. But here we are. We've got these guys in the building, and they're playing to the wall and looking great. Now, before I let you go, Joseph, because you've been really spitting some heat, man. You got a fire call here going on. You look at this situation here, man, and we're sitting down. Belichick is now out of the Patriots building. He's no longer the head coach there, man. How good does it make you feel to know that he is gone?
I mean, that dude's had our number for eons, it feels like. I mean, longer than I've been born. It's just, it's a great feeling that we sent him off with his final L and tied the most losses in like NFL history for a head coach. It's just, thank God. I mean, he's known how to beat us every which way. No, that's all I got to be thankful for this season. If that's anything, that's a success on its own. Just him.
Yeah, listen, Joseph, it was great speaking to you. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you, all right, my friend?
Yep.
All right, you have yourself a good one. We're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. I am taking all callers, all right? Next, we're going to Mike. Mike from Tom's River, we're coming directly to you. We know he's got some heat. Max, you'll be next. Other callers as well. Hold on. We're getting to everybody. Salutes to you, Mike. Before I even let Mike talk, for those of you that do not know, Mike is a savage. Mike salutes. We're sitting here having a discussion about so many things moving and shaking. A lot of people upset that the New York Jets won the final game against the Patriots. They wanted possibly, maybe to move up in the draft. I don't know if that was necessarily there. Again, there was a lot of scenarios moving and shaking. Are you upset that the New York Jets broke the 15-game losing streak to the Patriots with a W?
Not really, but I did predict them to lose. I hope them to lose because they could have been like the number 5 pick. But I'll take the 10th pick. I'll go with that kid from Notre Dame, Alt, left tackle. I'll take him.
Okay. Now, as we're looking at the situation, right, we're sitting here now. We're watching things move and shake. Again, we beat the Patriots 17-3. And after the season, again, there was a presser, and we saw guys that looked kind of dejected, Garrett Wilson being one of them. Are you concerned, man, with all the things that's gone on here offensively, that we might end up losing him? He might check out? Because at some point, man, I mean, this guy, he said it all, man. And he even said more after that as well. He talked about how he talked to the coaching staff, and they just let him vent. He didn't go into exactly what he said to them. I don't think he'll ever actually say that publicly, but it was clear as day that just the tidbit that he gave us, right, talking about lack of adjustments on offense, talking about all this stuff. Are you concerned that if we don't find a way to get this offense going, if we don't start to find a way to innovate with this offense, that we could end up losing a guy like Garrett Wilson and he'll check out?
Well, I think Garrett Wilson, he plays, he's very competitive, I love that. That's what you want. He's going to be a captain, I think it's frustration, but I think it all goes down on Paul Hackett because in the beginning of the year, the first 4 plays, 2 out of the 4 pass plays that he called on a left tackle and the right tackle, they did the chop block. Yep. I've never seen that done before in my entire life, and that got Aaron Rodgers hurt. Right? I mean, but Paul Hackett, he can't fit the system to fit his players, to make his players better, He can't do that. Yeah. Every play, like every game, the first play of the game is run up the middle. It's so obvious. Everybody knows he's going to do it, and he still does it. Oh yeah, I hate Paul. Yeah, he's worse than his father.
Listen, again, what jarred me when listening to Garrett was him openly talk about his frustrations with the lack of adjustments. The fact that he's right. Said it. He said, he's absolutely right, and this is something that even Jets fans, we talk about. Listen, he said, look. I'm watching from the sideline, and I'm watching other teams make offense look easy, and we can't do that. I don't understand why this is happening. And when teams are doing stuff, we should adjust to that. Listen, the calling card of good offenses or good offensive minds around the league is that they adjust. We talk about hating Bill Belichick, which I'm going to talk to you about him in a second. But I mean, that was his calling card. His not only his offense, his team. The game plan would adjust from quarter to quarter to quarter. Sometimes from drive to drive. That's how they won so much, because you never could figure out what they were doing, how they were going to do it, or how they were going to execute it. You just couldn't figure it out. It was just a house of mirrors. They had so many things moving and shaking over there. From that, they came up with their own formations at one point. Those multi-tight end packages that they were running out at one point. It was so many things that they were doing over there to get inventive and change things around. It's like, if you don't start doing that, and again, we look around the league outside of just the Patriots, there's, Andy Reid, Sean McVay, all these guys, they adjust on the fly quick. If they see that you're doing something that they can take advantage of, they do. So Nathaniel Hackett, these guys got to step it up. I mean, am I right, Mike?
Yeah, I think he's riding the coattails of Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers is responsible for that one. For when he won the MVP of the year and everything, when Paul Hackett was the offensive coordinator, I think that was all Rodgers.
Okay. Look, there's a lot of people saying that, man. A lot of people saying, listen, the jig is up. We don't think that you're the great offensive mind that we were sold. It might have all been Aaron Rodgers. There's a lot of Jets fans out there saying that. I'm not saying I'm saying it. I'm saying that there's a lot of Jets fans out there saying that, and I understand, especially when you look at the results that we saw this season. Now, as we continue to discuss this football team here, Mike, there's a lot of people saying that Zach Wilson, this is it. This is the end of the road for him. Do you think that this is the last season that we'll see Zach Wilson in a Jets uniform? Do you think that he'll actually be here next season?
I think I mentioned before, and I said if they don't restructure his contract, I get what he makes $11 million next year.
Yeah, I think it's $11 million.
He can't be paid $11 million for a backup. You know what I'm saying? If they do like a 2-year deal, something like that, and restructure it, let him sit. But he still can't read defense. He still can't pick out the Mike linebacker. He can't shift the offensive line to which side the protection's coming from. He still can't do that. And it's 3 years in the league. I think he'll never be able to do that.
Well, I mean, we'll see. I know there's a lot of people that are ready to close the door on him, and I get it. I root for the kid. Yeah. I mean, I get it, but I don't know. Something's telling me that there's a chance they're going to try to keep him around. I just got a feeling. Because this coaching staff, they've said it through hell or high water, and I understand there's been a lot of rumors and people saying that he's going to get traded and he didn't want to come back into the game. None of that was actually founded by anyone. And I understand that, look, I respect all of our, beat, even though our beat writers do have a history. Yeah. Mike said it. I didn't say it. Mike said it. I didn't say it, okay? Don't say that Joe said that. I'm just saying what Mike said is true. Yeah, that's true, So I think it's going to be very interesting going forward, but I just got a feeling that this may not be the last time or the last year that we see him in a Jets uniform. Now, as we continue on, man, we got some Pro Bowlers in the building, all right? Quinnen Williams, Sauce Gardner. We also got Sauce Gardner and Quincy making AP All-Pro. Man, what are your thoughts about those guys getting those accolades, man?
Oh, that's great. I mean, it's really great. Like Sauce, he's been nasty, Quincy, he lit it up. Quentin, he had a better year this year than he did last year, but he had more sacks. It's 12.5 sacks last year, but he was getting double teamed, triple teamed, and he had better stats minus the sacks. But he was dominant. I mean, dominant. We're looking good, and so did CJ. He blew some coverage passes, in games, but But we're loaded on defense. I'm not worried about that. We got to fix the offensive line. We got to get wide receiver number 2 is a must. I do not want Devontae Adams. I do not want him. He's 31 years old. He's on a decline now. I do not want him. I want the guy from Cincinnati. I want him.
T. Higgins, I think is who you're talking about.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. I look, and we'll talk about free agency and all the things that's going to move, but I think the Devontae Adams dream, I think is just that. I don't think we can afford Devontae Adams, and I don't think we can not just from a monetary standpoint as far as just the cap, but
we don't have any draft picks. We don't have no draft picks.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have the capital to give up for him. And I think a lot of Jets fans often lose sight of how important the offensive line is, which is crazy because that's what killed us this season. It killed us last year, too. There were struggles with our offensive line. Guys were getting hurt and went down. It killed us this year as well. Aaron Rodgers went down because of it. I know you talking about, the 4 plays in is when he, got his Achilles torn. But did anybody remember, the first couple plays, he was running for his life, literally running for his life. After
the play call was horrible,
and guys were flying by. And again, these are all things that we knew because our offensive line was going to struggle. And Dwayne Brown was letting up pressure like crazy. It was wild. So I know it's not the sexiest thing to do. And I say this every year. Listen, we need to re-up and get more fat boys in here. We need to get guys that can protect our quarterback because if you don't, you're going to lose. Aaron Rodgers is our greatest. He's our diamond. He's our crown jewel. He's our key to a Super Bowl. If you're not going to protect him, get ready to lose, man. Get ready to lose. So
he's another coach on the field.
Yeah, literally, man. Yep. So as we continue on, man, my final question for you, Mike. Belichick has been fired. No longer a Patriot. He's up out of there. And let me tell you something, man. I could not be happier, right? I'm so excited to see him gone. I'm hyped. I'm fired up. And I'm just beside myself, man. What are your thoughts about him no longer being the AFC East, no longer being the head coach of the New England Patriots?
Oh, I love it. He didn't write it on a napkin when he retired from the Patriots like he did when he did with the Jets, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Oh, and I was watching Fox News, and they had the Barstool owner, Dave Portnoy. You know, I like him. He did the pizza reviews and everything, you know. And they were interviewing him, and then he was talking about Bill Belichick retiring. He goes, everybody hates the Patriots because they just win. They just win, you know, like the Yankees, blah blah blah. I'm like, no, dude, they hate them because they got caught cheating.
Yes,
they're cheaters.
Yes.
That's why they hate them.
Yeah, twice.
Oh,
twice.
and don't forget the twice. Don't forget the tuck rule too. The tuck rule. Oh, remember that?
Yeah,
that's how it all started.
That was annoying. Mm-hmm. That's where it started with Brady. Yeah, Brady and the Raiders. Yep.
I'm so glad he's gone. I'm so glad he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
He's so arrogant. He's so arrogant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and he could take that hoodie. He could take that hoodie and go with sun time.
Listen, Mike, this is a great call from you. I gotta slide off. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you. All right, my friend.
No problem, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, Mike said you can take that hoodie and, put it where it needs to go. That's all I'm going to say. This is YouTube. I got to be careful, okay? There's a place that hoodie can go, okay? And it isn't sunny, okay? That's all I'm going to say about that, all right? Deflategate, Spygate. Very interesting, okay? I respect him. But I will take the time to rejoice and kick your back in when it needs to be kicked in, man. That felt good. To flush Bill Belichick, that felt good. I got to do it again. One more. You're no longer the coach of the Patriots. The joys of watching that happen. We're going to keep getting to these lines again. 515-602-9639, 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. Next, we're going to Max. Max, we're coming directly to you, Savages. Keep putting your comments and questions in the chat as well. We'll be coming to you very soon. But we got to get to Max, man. Listen, for those of you that do not know, this man, Max, he's a savage. Max salutes. I'm all right. How are you, my friend? It's good to hear from you.
I've been watching some highlights, preparing for draft season, preparing for the draft. Who do you want the Jets to draft? Because I think what I was saying is that we need to get offensive linemen first round, and then there's a sleeper prospect I really like as wide receiver. Third round prospect, Brendan Rice, USC. I was watching USC Colorado highlights. This guy can fit our offense pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, look, we'll definitely be talking about that more, but early, especially right now, first round pick, we gotta take offensive line. I don't think just first round. I think third round as well. I'm thinking the New York Jets should probably go offensive line with possibly their first 2 to 3 picks, because there's a lot of people talking about left tackle being an issue, and it is. Again, we'll see what happens going forward with Mekhi Becton. If they bring him back on maybe a 1 or 2 year deal, that could kind of solve that situation there. But I think a lot of people are forgetting about that right tackle spot. That right tackle spot is a mess too. I want to see ATV move back into guard. Okay, he's a solid right tackle, but I want to see him move back into guard, and I want to see us address that right tackle position, because Max Mitchell this year, not that guy. injury issues again, right? Couldn't stay healthy. We know that Billy Turner's not that guy, you know. So there's a lot of issues there, and I'd like to see that addressed, get a stud in there. And a lot of people want to get rid of Laken Tomlinson, right? So we're going to need a guard. We're going to need somebody that can start there at left guard. Free agency we got coming up as well. So we'll see if the New York Jets address any of those positions. But if you're trying to get some top guys at those positions, get ready to pay out of the wazoo, because that's how it works, right? That's how it works there. So it's going to be interesting going forward to see who we end up, you know, getting that, see who we end up drafting, how we end up, you know, grabbing some guys to make this team better, because we know, you know, everybody's standing and waiting to compete for a Super Bowl next season there with Aaron Rodgers. So we got to make sure guys are ready. Now, as we continue to talk about this, we know the Jets ended the season with a W. We're talking about the draft. We're talking about things moving and shaking around here. Do you think that this is Zach Wilson's final year as a New York Jet? Do you think it's over for him here?
Of course it's Zach Wilson's final year. He sucks. He's not going to be on the team. I'll be so pissed if Zach Wilson comes back. I'll be like, no, Zach Wilson's not coming back. Bro, I think I'm better than Zach Wilson. His first 2 years, and everyone's like, bro, and everyone's like, oh, he improved third year. He did, because he was horrible last year. He was probably like the worst quarterback I've seen. So, of course, he improved because he was that bad last year. Even the backup, the practice squad, Chris Streveler, who was only good at running, good at passing, was better than Zach Wilson. So, of course, he improved from last year. But, like, last year was like the lowest I've ever seen in a Jets quarterback in since I started watching him at 22. So, nobody's going to be on the team. We should probably try to get a backup quarterback. We should probably get Gardner Minshew is a really good backup quarterback. Very reliable. He actually was very reliable. Almost led the Colts to the playoffs. So he would be a good backup quarterback. Good game manager.
Yeah, you know, look, we'll see what happens. Like I said, and I'm going to keep saying this, I got a feeling that he could be here, you know, next year, and maybe beyond that, you know. For a restructure, I could see it happening. I just got a feeling, but Max definitely let us know where he stood there. Now, as we continue forward and talking about this football team, man, you got Quinnen Williams, right? Sauce making a Pro Bowl. Quincy got snubbed, right? He wasn't a starter as a Pro Bowler, but he did make the AP All-Pro team along with Sauce Gardner. What are your thoughts about the accolades that those guys have gotten, man?
I mean, it's pretty great. I mean, other past Jets teams, there was maybe like one player, Jamal Adams, who ended the Pro Bowl. So it's pretty accomplishing that the Jets, a couple players on the Pro Bowl. That shows how good Douglas is. And everyone's like, oh, Douglas should be fired. I'm like, yeah, but he was a good GM. He was better than like previous GMs combined. Like, we had good picks as Sauce and Brees. And, I mean, we had a couple bad picks, but, you know, every GM doesn't have good picks. I mean, not every GM is perfect. I mean, Zach Wilson was probably the worst pick of them all. I mean, he was bad. I mean, but to be fair, the 2021 quarterback draft was bad. The only good quarterback is Trevor Lawrence, and he's like one of the most overrated players in football. I mean, did you see the Jaguars? I mean, they were 8-3.
Talk about it, man.
96% chance to make the playoffs. And look, collapsed like the 28 Jets. It was like 9-8, missed the playoffs. It was like, how'd you miss the playoffs if you're 96% like in it? It was like weird.
Max letting it off, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know that. Listen, I see your point there. Okay, because that draft was tough. A lot of people, you know, talk about Justin Fields and all these things, but in Trevor Lawrence, he was supposed to be, you know, like the second coming of, you know, something crazy, and I think he's looked all right, but there's been some issues with his makeups there. So I see where you're coming from, Max. He's definitely you know, letting it be known. Now, as we're sitting here right now, man, I want you to give me your thoughts on Garrett Wilson and what he had to say about the Jets' offense struggling and how frustrated he seemed speaking to the media once the season had closed. Man, are you concerned about us losing a guy like him going forward, as far as him just checking out if the Jets don't keep things together?
I'm totally concerned. I mean, we have Aaron Rodgers, but Nathaniel Hackett's like a bad coordinator. I mean, Mike LaFleur, everyone's like, oh, he's a bad coordinator. Yeah, because he had Zach Wilson, and Zach Wilson was horrible his first years. he couldn't even complete a screen pass. And I'm like, and I never played football. I'm like, I could have probably completed some of those screen passes to the players. I was like, and then everyone was like, oh, LaFleur is just terrible. I mean, every quarterback that played on LaFleur, other than Zach Wilson, 400 yards, 300 yards. Like, they played amazing, and LaFleur was his great coordinator, and we got Hackett. And Hackett's like a really bad coordinator. He makes Adam Gase look like Sean McVay. He makes Adam Gase look good. Like, that was probably the worst Jets offense I've watched in my life. Like, really? Like, you have passing touchdowns. Like, that is just anemic. Like, it's just bad.
Yeah.
Like, how do you have 11 passing touchdowns? The only other team that had it was the 2012 Chiefs. It was, like, crazy. Why was it, like...
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, anytime you bring up Adam Gase, shit. Whoa, you know? Yeah, but it was rough. It was very rough this year, and especially, again, with the lack of adjustments. And Garrett Wilson spoke about that publicly. He said other teams are making this look easy, and this is the worst. That this is the toughest that offense has been for me in my career. It's mind-blowing. Now, my final question for you, Max. Belichick is no longer the New England Patriots head coach, man. How excited are you to know that we will not have to see that man ever again over there in the Patriots, on the Patriots sideline? How excited are you to know that he is out of the door and out of the AFC East?
So excited because, I mean, Bill Belichick was his great coach. I mean, and everyone should respect Belichick. I mean, he won 6 Super Bowls, but, I mean, he always cheated, even with Brady. I mean, I've heard, like, they deflated footballs. Like, there was, like, stuff, they just deflated footballs because, Tommy didn't want to, like, have a deflated footballs. And then the tug rule, I mean, pre, like, 2000s, it was, like, if it went forward, it was always a fumble. But then because of Tom Brady, let's just, like, make a tug rule and then all this other – like spy game. Remember when they found the Jets and Mangini? It was like crazy. Like, why would you ever like want to spy on a team? And I know now that that Belichick is fired, the Patriots are going to suck for 10 years. I mean, Mayo looks like everyone's like, oh, he's such a good coach. I mean, he's been a coordinator for 4 years. He hasn't had D coordinator experience. I mean, he's going to be a bad coach. He's going to turn to a Freddie Kitchens experience. Freddie Kitchens had no coaching experience. Head coach of the Browns, horrible as a Browns coach.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. You know, I don't wish, any type of success on the Patriots whatsoever. As everyone knows, I just like the Patriots and especially the Dolphins as well. You know, we're here in the AFC East. I want them to wash out, but we'll see what happens going forward. But I am happy, beyond happy, that Belichick is out. Listen, Max, I got to slide off. I want to thank you for calling in. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you, all right?
Okay.
All right, you have a good one. Listen, man, a lot of things moving and shaking around here, all right? A lot of things moving and shaking, man. And I am so glad that Belichick is out of there, man. Man, I couldn't stand him, man. All right? He's the only head coach in NFL history with 7 seasons of 13 wins. Man has 6 Super Bowls. 6! He's the only head coach to have 6 Super Bowl victories. Mind-blowing, man. 12 conference titles, 13 seasons with 12 regular season wins. That's an NFL record as well. 17 division titles. That hurts the most, man. That hurts the most. Because they dominated the AFC East for so long. It was mind-boggling. People would literally just pencil them into winning the AFC East every year. Every year, no matter how good the Jets were, no matter how much we were right there, no matter how much we had built up when Rex was here. No. Patriots going to take the AFC East. They usually did. Keep in mind, those 17 division titles are the most by a head coach in NFL history. Mind-blowing, man. Mind-blowing some of the stuff that he did in this league. That's why I won't disrespect Belichick, but I can't stand him. What I will say, though, is as a Jets fan, it was mind-boggling to watch them get away with certain things, some of the things they play, like some of the callers pointed out, Deflategate, they were straight out cheating. Deflategate, they got popped for that. I think in 2015, Brady got 4 games. In 2016, Patriots were fined like $1 million. But before that, there was Spygate. I believe that was 2007, where the Jets had reported that, you know, they were recording their signals. And then NFL does an investigation, and they find that the Patriots have been recording people's, recording different teams since 2000. 2000 to 2007, they were recording teams, signals, all kinds of things. You know, that's what put the Super Bowls in question. There was talk that they had recorded the Rams walkthrough. Like, come on, man. Are you serious? Are you serious, man? Recorded the walkthroughs. Goodness gracious. It's time. Like, come on. You know? Come on. Recording walkthroughs, recording their signals, recording all of that. You know what's crazy? Even after that, they still kept winning. Oh, my goodness gracious, man. They just kept winning. Believe they won the Super Bowl in 2014, 2016, and I think it was 2018. They just kept winning. My goodness, man. But you know what was the worst, right? As a Jets fan, you know what was the worst? Was how when you played against the Patriots and Belichick, you felt like the people, you know, the Adams that wore striped shirts that overlooked the game, you felt like the Adams were often from New England or something, right? How many bad calls did the Jets get against the Patriots? Felt like millions. Anybody remember that 2017 Austin Seferian-Jenkins catch and touchdown that was called a fumble and then taken off the board when it clearly was a catch and touchdown? They tried to say that he didn't have control of the ball. Are you serious? You know what? Those stripe molecules, you're getting flushed. I cannot believe, I was watching that game, like I could not believe that those officials made that call. And they took the points directly off the board. Mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. Or what about in 2022, when John Franklin Myers was called for roughing the passer after a pick six had occurred, right? Jets corner catches a pick six, takes it back for a touchdown. They call roughing the passer and erase the play and erase those points, which killed the Jets because that momentum was swinging our way and we would have taken that game. So many calls. I can keep going on. So many calls that just seem to go the Patriots' way. Seemed to go the Patriots' way when he was there. That was the Patriot way, all right. Right? Petty as it got. Right? Anybody remember Danny Woodhead? Right? He was here. We had him. Jets decided to let him go. He scooped up Danny Woodhead in a millisecond and utilized him against us for years. Just cooked us with him. What about what he recently did, right, in the draft? Broderick Jones sitting right there, right for the picking. We know the New York Jets need a tackle. Broderick Jones has fallen to the Jets. Oh, man, everything's going to work out fine. Oh, no. Not with Belichick at the helm, it won't happen. They literally traded out of the pick that was before us, right before us. Traded it out and gave it to the Steelers on the cheap to ensure that the New York Jets wouldn't draft Roderick Jones. And the Steelers got in front of us and drafted him. Wow. Belichick was quite a piece of work, man. Quite a piece of work. Didn't like him. You know, didn't like how he made me feel as a Jets fan, how miserable he made me feel, the trauma that I went through, the misery, the pain. Yeah. I often wonder how he can sleep at night, being such a disgusting human being. To me, a disgusting human being to this fan base. How could he sleep at night? But I respect him, you know. Can't deny the victories and the wins and all the records. And I'm telling you, I am so glad that he is gone. He's gone now. The big bad wolf is out of here. And I'm hyped because now the New York Jets have the chance to set their tone in this division. It's our time now. And we've got to make this happen. We got Aaron Rodgers. We got a defense. We've got some pieces. We need to get into this offseason, take this momentum for this victory over the Patriots, get into this offseason and handle business so that we can be dominating the division for years to come. The clean way. We don't need to videotape people without them knowing. We don't need to steal people's signals either. We also don't need to deflate footballs. All right? So it's our time now. And we must take advantage of this because we have what it takes to be that team, to dominate the AFC East for years to come. We got Pro Bowlers. We got all pro guys. Let's get the momentum started and get hot over here. All right? Because Belichick is up out of here, man. Now with that, salutes to all the savages in the chat. I see you in the building, man. Bree says, crazy thing about Deflategate was that they absolutely walloped the Broncos. Tom had no reason to do it. Yep. Listen, that's just how the Patriots do. Their cup runneth over with schemes and scams. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. That's just how it works. All right? But he's gone now, and it's our time. I'm going to close out the show. It's a phenomenal show. Salute to everybody that watched, subscribed, all right? Gave the stream a thumbs up. Please do that if you haven't already. Man, oh, man. It's the Jets' time, man. I'm beside myself. Belichick is gone, baby. He's up out of here, all right? And I hope he, takes the next 40 years off. He doesn't need to do anything else, all right? Listen, I'm the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with you folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing about what you folks think I do here on The Long Beach Joe Show. I'm also on Twitter as well. All right. Go on over to Twitter. Okay. Type in @The Long Beach Joe. @The Long Beach Joe on Twitter. Okay. Follow me. I'll follow you right back. And if you troll me, no issues. I am the troll that lives under the bridge, and I will have my Vera Tucker jersey on at all times. At all times. Okay? At all times. I'm telling you, ATV is going to be back next year, baby. He's going to be dominant. Okay? He's going to be dominant. All right? So, yeah, please follow your boy, again, @The Long Beach Joe on Twitter, okay? It's in the description of the video as well, in my link tree. And, talk to me and I'll talk back. I'm also on YouTube as well. Come on over to YouTube. Type in Long Beach Joe Jets. Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so when I post content, you will be in the know. All right? Also, if you want to troll me, get in those comments, troll me, let's go back and forth. And as always, people, when I see you in person, because I will see you in person, it is arms out, chest open, free hugs for everyone. Free hugs for everyone. The hugs will cost you absolutely nothing. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to call in, to chit-chat with your boy, to talk to me, to interact with me. Salutes to all the savages in the chat. I see all of y'all. Michael, Bree, Dakota, everybody, all right? GVH, I see you, all right? Salutes. And I want to thank y'all. Without y'all, I'm absolutely nothing. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to hang out with your boy and talk that talk, all right? Now, with all that said, until the next show, okay, we'll continue to go throughout the offseason and break things down about this Jets team. A lot of analyzation we're going to be doing about this squad coming forward, okay? Until the next one, you folks have a good one. Peace.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.